Hello and welcome. Today we're taking a look at a very budget-friendly optic. It is an Athlon optic, specifically the Talos 3-12 by 40 with the BDC 600 IR reticle. Part number, for anyone that's wondering, is 215001. So why this scope in particular? Well, my coworker had come to me and said, I'm in need of a scope to put on my 22 that I bought for pest control on my property. And I sat down with him one day and I said, all right, let's go through all the things that you're going to need this for, what you're going to use it for. And he started telling me it was for pest control. Simple enough. His kill zone was between 30 and 50 yards. So right off the bat, I knew he was going to need something with an adjustable objective. He wanted something that was going to accommodate for bullet drop, or at least he wasn't sure about that until I convinced him when he told me that he's going to be shooting primarily subsonic ammunition or Aguila Super Calabri, which, if you're not familiar with that ammunition, is gunpowderless 22. It's very, very quiet, but it's slow, and thus it drops like crazy. So even between 30 and 50 yards, you're going to see a significant drop. I don't know the exact drop, but it's going to be there. Lastly, he said he'll probably do a lot of his shooting in the evening or even possibly early night. So I kind of knew exactly what he wanted: an adjustable objective, a BDC, and illumination. He also told me that he wasn't looking to spend a lot of money on this. So when I started going down the list and figuring out what optic was available, I came up with this. Now, yes, there are other optics in about this price point, around $200, that offer some of what this thing does, but I couldn't find another scope that ticked all of the boxes quite like this one, especially for the price. I'd been wanting to give Athlon a shot because I haven't reviewed any on the channel, and he was more than willing to buy it to let me review it. So here we go. It's got very nice printing on it. It's made out of a very heavy cardboard. Quite nice. All your information that you're going to need is right here. Bottom of the box, what is it going to say? Blah, 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 blah. Kansas. Okay, that's about it. Now, this box opens like so. There's a magnet underneath the flap, and you flip it open to reveal what's inside. Pretty stiff to open, but that's because it's nice heavy-duty cardboard. You got two big foam pads on either end. Get those back in there. And you got instruction manual, like magic. Cleaning cloth, everything you're going to need to know about what's adjustable and what isn't, or at least what things are. Pretty standard stuff. I'm not going to go through this entire booklet, or at least I'm not going to go over the entire booklet in great detail, but I believe this is the reticle, which you will see soon enough. Whoa, focus issues there. And that's basically it. Guarantee, that's in a language I don't speak. But lifetime warranty. I hope it doesn't have to come to the point where he has to put this to the test, but I don't think longevity is going to be an issue with the scope and my coworker, primarily because he's going to be using this inside of his house, shooting out of his window into his backyard on a 22. So the last thing I'm concerned with, or he's concerned with, is longevity, as long as he doesn't drop it. Two rubber bands on the back. Oh, it even comes with a bikini cap. Nice little feature to have. Keep it nice and clean. Right off the bat, it's got 1-inch tube. Here is your parallax adjustment. Oh, it looks like it goes less than 15. I don't know if it's meters or yards, but I'm going to assume it's going to be yards. And obviously all the way up to infinity and beyond. Yeah, I know, I'm corny, what can I say? Here's your illumination adjustment. No surprise that it's just 1 off position and 11 on positions. I mean, for the price, you can't expect much more than that. Your ocular adjustment, pretty tight, pretty fine thread on this. Seems like you could really fine tune this as you need. I don't feel anything wrong with that for sure. I do like the fact that this is a 3-12. One key feature that my coworker wanted was a higher magnification, even though he's shooting pretty close. He's still shooting at small targets. So he wanted at least 10x. So this being a 3-12 is perfect. The 3x will be great for getting a good view on the field, And 12x would be really good for if you really have to get up close and personal with them. Nice that it comes with a throw lever. I mean, it's a sub $200 scope, and it's got a throw lever that some several $100 scopes don't come with. I don't know why more people or more companies don't take advantage of that. Oh, that is stiff. Very stiff, but very good. No binding or anything like that. Not that I would really expect it. It doesn't really quite line up in the middle of a 12 like I would prefer, but that's just my OCD kicking in right there. I'm not going to force it. But that is a pretty wide spread from 3 to 12x. So if we look at the bottom of the scope, that's about at the 8 o'clock position. Rotate this around to 3x again, which gets pretty well centered. And you're at roughly the 4 o'clock position. So it's a lot greater than 180 degrees, more like 270 degrees. So it's really nice that they included the throw lever, considering you have to throw it so much to get from minimum to maximum magnification. This is a second focal plane scope, for any of you that's wondering, so no, the reticle will not change size based on magnification. What does that mean if you have a BDC? It means that at every magnification level that you're on, your BDC is going to change its value. So keep that in mind for when you're zeroing this out for your drops at a certain distance, because if you decide to change it mid-shoot, it's going to throw off where your bullet impact is going to be. Important. Caps do feel a little tinny, but again, price point, something has to give. I'd rather give up the quality in your cap and maybe even your finish just to make sure the internals in the glass are better than subpar. Here you can see your easy adjustable turrets. Pretty good action. These are a quarter MOA at, I'm assuming, 100 yards. It doesn't say. Well, I'm assuming it's going to be one click is a quarter MOA at 100 yards. That's typically the standard. I guess it would say it in the instruction manual. I'll look through that later, but typically this is about 100 yards, but it can be as low as 50 yards and as much as typically 200 yards that I've seen personally. That feels really good. A little bit of play side to side, but you can't expect much more than that. The detents are very positive. The clicks are very sharp, and they fall into line quite well, at least on the elevation. Windage, I would say it's about the same as the elevation. Not too bad. Again, it doesn't say what the click value is, or at least at what distance. I'm sure it says it in the owner's manual. But now, let's take a look at the reticle. Right off the bat, the reticle is pretty nice. It's pretty thick, but that's going to be fine for in a hunting situation because you don't want to lose where the reticle is on your target. It's got some windage leads and it's got some elevation drops, which I think are going to be perfect for what my coworker is going to be using this for. Again, because this is a second focal plane scope, the reticle is not going to change size based on magnification. Now let's take a look at the illumination. We're going to go from 0 to 1. And right off the bat, even though I'm looking at this in a pretty bright room, 1 already shows up. It's very, very dim, but you can notice the slight red hue inside the reticle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So admittedly, it is on, but you can't really tell much of a difference between 1 and 7, or at least I can't currently. I'm sure in daytime it's going to be even less noticeable, but if you're shooting at night, 1 to 7 will give you plenty of flexibility to make sure that you're not over illuminated. Let's continue up. 8, 9, 10. 10 is definitely starting to pick up the brightness, but again, how is this going to perform in daylight? Well, you're going to see that for yourself. For me right now, it doesn't seem like it's doing much. And then 11. And 11 seems pretty bright. I do like that the entire reticle is illuminated. This way you don't have to worry about losing your drops or your windage holdovers. It's actually quite nice. And you know what? The glass seems pretty sharp too. iBox for 3X, I think it's really damn good, especially for the price. $169, you can't really buy a lot of things nowadays for that sort of price and expect it to be anything close to good. But right now, this thing's impressing me. The overall fit and finish is pretty nice. The glass in the front and the back, no imperfections that I can see. At least not on the initial build quality of this. And you know what? I think this is going to suit my coworkers' needs flawlessly. And I'm actually genuinely excited to review this because I want to see how this performs in the field. Now, about that part, we're still in the middle of the COVID crisis and things aren't looking too great. So the actual first-person review of this might take a little bit longer than I was hoping for it. Either that or it might not include all of the typical locations that I would normally film at because a lot of them are still closed. So I'm going to try to get this out as fast as I can, but I want to make sure that I get it in great enough detail so that all of you can understand exactly what this is capable of. And on that note, I'm going to conclude this unboxing. Thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.